When you're blue and kinda lonely too, you'll find a smile will go a long, long way. Though you're down, don't sit around and frown. A little smile will go a long, long way. Never grieve, just try to make believe the sky is blue, although you know it's gray. Don't you find it's just a waste of time? You'll find a smile will go a long, long way.
Welcome into another edition of Ron and Jen's Great Escape. It's an escape from the toxicity. That's the word we like to use.
Very good.
It's a frivolous look, if you will, at what's going on in the world around us. It doesn't necessarily mean that we don't tackle meat and potatoes, if you will, but we do so in a very non-combative way, even if we disagree, which we often do, quite frankly.
We do.
I see with the governor, by the way, who just celebrated his 100 years as governor since we lost our former governor to a federal office, Gina Raimondo. So
100 days.
100 days, yes.
You said years.
Did I say years?
Yes, you did. I agreed with you because I was hoping that you would transition to something I understood.
You think that's a
I
Freudian?
was kind of letting it.
You think that's Freudian on my part?
I don't.
Because it's been painful.
Did it feel like 100 years?
I don't know. This whole.
I mean, this guy.
I've got news for you. This whole last year and a half has felt like 100 years.
It has.
So McKee, who's the governor, signed a 20-year lottery deal extension with IGT, the casino operating company formerly known as Twin River. Now that's Bally's. So for the next 20 years, this organization, who, by the way, is in charge of technology, will be in charge of the lottery.
Now, a lot of people are upset about this. And honestly, I don't even understand what the heck's going on. And I thought, what is wrong with people? Why is this a big deal?
Well, I think anytime, first of all, 20 years, that's a long time. With a no-compete, 20 years no-compete. And secondly, this is a company that deals in technology.
Yeah.
So you always have to be constantly on cutting edge. You know, so we'll see.
Let's see, because if we follow the money, if we do a little background investigative stuff, and if we follow the money, there's a reason why he committed to 20 years, and there's a reason why he believes in this company, and we need to dig. Where are the Bernsteins and the Woodwards? Just in general, out there scooping, trying to dig up the real story. Is there anybody like that anymore, or is everything just propaganda and political, interests?
Yes and yes.
Yes and
so
yes.
I answered both. So
where's Woodward?
In exchange for this 20 years, the contract extension, the new law commits international game technology to expanding, keeping 1,100 employees in Rhode Island. You know, they were basically threatening to leave if we didn't give them this long-term contract extension. So anyway.
So then we turn the page and we start afresh with somebody new.
Yeah, right, because that's going to happen in Rhode Island, please.
Well, that's true. Well, it did with Mattiello. Oh, there goes the Pop Rocks. It did with Mattiello. We never thought we could... God, Hazel.
See, she's not a big fan of the former House Speaker.
Oh, no.
So you bring his name up, and it just triggers. It triggers animosity in Hazel.
All right.
So she's in the other room.
I have a question.
Yes,
though.
I'll see if I
sorry about that. The PTSD kicked in right there. McKee, he extends the state of emergency in Rhode Island.
Right.
Why? I saw this story, and I sent you a text, and I said, Ron, why on earth would he do that? Things are getting back to normal. Everybody's trying to get their footing. What is this?
Now it's been extended to what? July 9th? Is that the date? Something like that. I believe it's July 9th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you're right.
I thought at first it was because we'd still be in line for some federal money. But what I'm finding out and following the story is that he said there's so much legislation that's yet to be passed in terms of restaurants and open containers and things like that, that he doesn't want to pull the rug out from under them right now. So he just kind of extended that. Now, whether or not it keeps us in line for federal dough, too, I don't know.
Oh, I don't understand.
He said it would hurt the restaurants and
really?
where they are right now, because there's still that pending legislation as to whether or not open containers of liquor and this, that, and the other thing can still, and outdoor dining and blah, 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 blah.
All right. Well, it sounds like a reasonable excuse.
Yeah. Now, this is not a stop the presses moment when it comes to news, at least in my mind. I just thought it was going to happen a whole lot sooner. Alex Anani files for bankruptcy.
Yeah, I'm not. Ron, listen. Years ago, when I wouldn't say now, 4 years ago, when I was super into Alex and Ani, and I have a whole bunch, believe me, I've gone into their stores and spent way too much money.
They might be worth money now. Who knows? Down the line.
But here's what happened. They had a charm. And I remember thinking when I went online, oh my God, they have a charm for
you name it.
Sister's Day. They have a charm for every college. They have a charm for every team in every sport on every level.
Right.
Division III softball, they have charms. So they had hundreds and thousands of charms. And I thought, how are they going to maintain with this much product? They have so much product now, and that it's impossible. I did think this years ago, and here we are now.
Yeah, I thought it was going to happen a lot sooner.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
A small business was onto something, and it was so special because there were very few charms available, and everybody was buying them, and they were sold out all the time.
Yeah.
But they got too hungry. They got a little too, and I want to say little too greedy.
They bought a vineyard. They bought a mansion.
Well,
I mean,
here we are now.
They had a Super Bowl ad. Remember a few
sure
Super Bowls
did.
ago.
Yeah.
So right now, a British private equity firm controls it, Alex and Ani, and they owe between $100 and $500 million. You know, talk about spreading yourself too thin. I've always thought this was a house of cards from day one, but the fact that it didn't collapse a lot earlier is beyond me. When somebody gave me a bauble of charm for my colonoscopy, I knew they had stretched it too thin.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But now I walk back a little my previous statement, which I'm saying maybe they weren't that greedy. Maybe they were just grossly mismanaged. I'd like to see who was managing that company.
Gio Ferrocci for the longest time.
Well,
right?
yeah, but
that
then
guy.
I think they replaced him.
Oh, they sure did.
Right,
Yeah.
and so I just wonder, how was this, and did they have a lot of wounds going into a replacement, and could they ever find their way back? So
the inevitable has happened, at
it
least
sure
in my
has.
book.
I'm not shocked. I'm saddened, but I'm not shocked.
Are you buying this guy's story?
Which one?
This guy, this lobster diver who said he was nearly eaten by a whale. He said he was completely inside. Provincetown, Massachusetts. He says that he was swallowed up by a whale.
I'm not.
He was in the whale's mouth. He wasn't swallowed.
Okay, well, you just said. He said he was swallowed.
Well, it just says here, I was nearly eaten by a whale. So
okay.
he was supposedly
Does he have
in its mouth.
Teeth mark on him?
He said he felt around, and I looked at the story, he said, I was in his closed mouth for about 30 to 40 seconds before he rose to the surface and spit me out. He said he was feeling around while inside the mouth, and he couldn't find any teefuses. Sort of like O.J.'s mother. Couldn't find no teefuses.
Wow, okay. Well, listen, I'm just saying that...
You believe it?
No, I absolutely... No, this guy wants his 10 minutes of fame. Because now, I was driving here this morning, I was thinking... I should know this. There's some dude in the Bible that would be Jonah.
Jonah, of course.
Jonah didn't. He didn't want to. God said, "Hey, man, you got to go to Nineveh and tell those people to turn their lives around." Jonah said, "I ain't going over there. I'm going this way." So God sent him into the belly of a whale.
That's right.
And it was terrible and miserable, and he cried out, and he was released after 3 days. Okay, but this guy. Not a mark on him, and he's trying to tell us...
No, he's got bruises everywhere. He's got a lot of bruises. He said it. No broken bones, but bruises. That's what he says.
I don't know. I want to believe it, but I don't think he's going to end up on Kelly Clarkson. He's going to end up on...
His shelf life won't be that.
You don't think
it won't
so?
be that long. No,
I don't know.
No.
I don't think he's going to milk it.
Whales.
He's going to write a book and...
Oh, please. Well, that's a short story. But then again, so is Shawshank Redemption. Look what we wound up with that.
True.
Supposedly, whales feed on, they call gulp feeding. So they just kind of go, they're cruising along, and all of a sudden they open their mouth and just take anything that's right in front of them. Boom. So that's what, maybe.
That's kind of what dogs do.
Yeah. Well,
they don't swallow food. They inhale it. You know what I'm saying?
I've eaten with a lot of individuals who are just like that, too. I don't know what's in the water.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what's in the water, but apparently beach brawls continue.
I know. I know what's in the water.
What?
Booze.
Yeah, well,
you know
I know what's in the
They're
water.
They're bringing their coolers down to the beaches.
Beach brawls reported in Lincoln, at Lincoln Woods, and in Westerly at the Patty's Beach Club. So there's the booze.
Well, I mean,
when it comes to Westerly, but you know what's also in the water at Lincoln Woods?
What?
Urine.
Well,
about
85%.
About 85% of that water is pee.
A lot of baby Ruths. Now that's an older story, but it's important because something is going on at beach. By the way, they said it was mostly teens, and evidently here's how that went down. Okay, you like the story about Jonah? Here's how this went down. Yo, man, I want to date your cousin. You ain't dating my cousin. She too good for you. Really? Pop, pop, pop.
Boom, boom, boom.
Two people start fighting, and then all the rest of the kids
All hell
just
breaks
decided,
loose.
hey, we can get in on this. Everybody put your mask on or not, and we're going to kill each other.
Behave.
What? Yeah. Uncle Ron says behave.
Just behave.
Yeah, behave like Stinky Steve.
Please.
Just sit on the can and mind your own business.
Without rules.
Yeah, without. By the way,
There's
we made
chaos.
the debut of Bobblehead Patty. That's your lovely bride.
This is Bobblehead Patty. A few Christmases ago.
Very nice.
I was looking for something unique, which you have to do when you're married a long, long time for Christmas. So I had a surprise bobblehead made of her. She was thoroughly.
Was she pleased?
She was thoroughly unimpressed.
Really?
But anyway, this is Bobblehead Patty.
I think it's great. It looks just like her.
Makes a great gift.
Yeah.
The Boston
Are
Pops.
these your nieces and nephews?
No, that's my
conga line.
My conga line.
Yeah.
Boston Pops traditional 4th of July live show is coming back this year, but with significant changes.
Yeah,
of
what's
course.
the twist, man?
The twist is that they're not going to be on
That's Joe Biden for you. What's the twist, man?
That's the twist, man.
Amen.
Symphony Orchestra announced this week, instead of holding the show at the banks of the Charles River in Boston, that's the Esplanade, right?
Yes, I love it over there.
Well, they're going to be
nice.
they're going to be at Tanglewood with a limited audience.
Oh.
But then that will be followed by
How unfortunate they end up at Tanglewood.
Yes. A live fireworks display
Okay.
from the Boston Common. So you're still going to be able to. You're going to be able to. It's going to be carried on television. It's going to be carried on the radio, and you can enjoy. So that's cool. That's an event that I always wanted to attend, but I didn't want to go through the agony of attending it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
If I was Captain
sure
Kirk and I could get beamed into that and then beamed out, that would be a wonderful thing. Because
I totally get it.
People probably start going there in what, 8 hours before the event actually starts. What do you do? How do you pee? It's crazy.
Well, how do you pee? Right here. See this pig cup?
Yeah, I guess that's disgusting. I didn't want to think about
toss
that.
it.
The last thing I've got that, and
What do you
I
do?
salute the bucket.
You wear a diaper.
The city of Pawtucket, I salute it.
Why?
For a number of reasons. I was
Yes.
born and raised there. I happen to be in the City of Pawtucket Hall of Fame. Thank you very much.
Yes, and you're also in a dance contest.
But that's different. Was it the same year? Was that the same year? No, it's not the
Ron,
same.
did you win?
I did, and
Yeah.
it's still up on YouTube if you want to
That's
look
right.
at it. It's Dancing with the Stars of
There he
Mentoring.
goes.
Just put in my name. I'd won the competition
You
with
did.
Kathy St. Jean.
It was something else.
Yes.
He had a zoot suit on. You
I
got to
did.
see
I
this.
did.
It's really good.
I did the quick step,
Yes,
believe
you
it or
did.
not.
I know, with
City
your
of
little
Pawtucket.
feet.
City of Pawtucket. Zero tolerance when it comes to the use of illegal fireworks. I say here. Anybody caught with fireworks worth more than $500 can be
Really,
charged
Ross?
with a felony. Yeah, really. Fined $1,000, imprisoned for up to a year. Good. Other cities in Rhode Island and towns in Rhode Island should follow suit with that because they're dangerous and they drive kids
When
and
did you get
they
old, man?
they drive dogs crazy.
Is that an old man thing to
And
say?
here's the other thing: military individuals who have
Yeah.
suffered with PTSD are often really troubled by these things, by fireworks. So use your head, and I salute the city of Pawtucket.
And dogs barking. We're troubled by
Yes,
dogs.
and
Scaring
sometimes
the crap out of us.
sometimes those thunder shirts for dogs work
Yeah.
on certain dogs. Sometimes they
sometimes
don't.
they
So
don't.
sometimes
Yeah,
they
they're
don't.
kind of
So
50-50.
that's what I got, and now we move on to
Yes.
Jen's news.
Now it's time for the good stuff.
It's time for
This
Jen's
is what
news.
you've been waiting for.
That has its own theme song. I'm very
It does.
jealous about that
Well-
because nothing I have has a special theme song.
See, this is why Stinky Steve doesn't need batteries, because this induces irritable bowel syndrome.
That is true.
So it really helps. Here we go. Jen's theme for Jen's news. It's time for
Jen's news.
Jen's news.
It does have a certain ring to it. It does. All right.
Yeah.
What you got? I know you got some UFO stories today
I
because you're
do.
really fond of that
I
stuff.
do, but before we get there, Ron,
Yes.
this story is so stupid. I just had to do this story. Okay, did you hear anything about Jeff Bezos and the Mona Lisa lately?
I know that Bezos is in a race with what's
He's
his
the owner.
face to
He's
go
that
into space.
multi-billion-dollar
He owns
dude.
Amazon.
Yeah,
He's a gazillionaire.
All right. So evidently, a petition is online urging billionaire Jeff Bezos to buy Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa and eat it. And
Eat it?
And eat it. They want him to buy it and then eat it. And it's a petition that has hundreds and hundreds of signatures. No, this is what they say. Nobody has eaten the Mona Lisa.
That's true.
And we feel that Jeff Bezos needs to take a stand and make this happen. Okay? Gobble de Lisa. one signer wrote, while another joked, I feel like this is something society needs, Jeff. We need you to make this sacrifice for societies. This is a real thing, even though it's kind of a joke. Some people are dead serious
funny.
about it. No. Now, the Mona Lisa, by the way, is owned by the French government and is on permanent display at the Louvre in Paris.
The Louvre, which I plan on visiting.
So you know.
I plan on visiting a year from this month.
Really?
The Louvre, yeah. If everything relaxes, we're supposed to go to.
Better get your vaccination
we're
passport.
Supposed to go to Paris.
You're going to need that.
Yeah, we might need it. By the way, that's not much of a meal because a lot of people don't realize how small the Mona Lisa is. It's tiny.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely tiny. All right.
And she is that a man or a woman?
There's a lot of theories about that.
It's a great question because you can stand there and stare at that sucker for hours trying to figure that out.
A lot of people think it's a self-portrait of Da Vinci.
Well, evidently, there's something underneath. Did you know that they took it to...
Here we go again. This is like National Treasure with a cage.
There's
Come on.
something... They took an infrared light to it, and they don't know if it's another painting that he painted the Mona Lisa over, or if it was a rough draft of the Mona Lisa.
Well, that was a practical thing with struggling artists years and years and years ago, that they would actually repaint over canvas to save money because they didn't have a lot of dough. The alligator arms like Cass.
Listen, I mean, he was a struggling artist. Can you imagine that?
Hundreds of struggling artists are displaying their fare. Okay.
All right. How about this? Now, yes. So that big report that's supposed to be coming out of the Pentagon, we've been getting drips and drabs. They've been leaking it very slowly.
Nothing came out. Nothing.
Well, I mean, I think portions of this big report, but a former Fed, some guy who was head of an agency over at the Pentagon. He's a head of a government program involving UFOs, Luis Elizondo. He was head of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. Get this. He said, he spoke to the Washington Post last week, and he said that nuclear plants were forced offline by UFOs. This guy is head of a very serious sounding program at the Pentagon. Do you not think so? Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification. When asked about these these sightings above these nuclear weapons facilities, he claimed there have been incidents where UAPs have interfered and actually brought offline our nuclear capabilities. So evidently, the things in outer space, they're watching. Do you know that people say, do you know what the moon is? This is so great. I watch a lot of Ancient Aliens.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know what people say, Ron?
What do they say?
I'm going to tell you what people say. People say that the moon is just a looking glass, that aliens live inside the moon, and it's a way for them to keep an eye on us and all the things that we're doing here on Earth.
Big Brother's watching.
Did you? Yeah, that's what
they're watching from the moon.
That's why when we went to the moon, some of those astronauts said they saw weird stuff going on.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Do I have anything else today? No, because that's been trending, and this is Unusual History. So that wraps up another fine edition of Jen's News that you don't want to miss.
Especially if you're watching from the moon.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Some of the stuff that's trending today.
Yeah.
In-flight magazines are becoming a thing of the past because they have been ended by American, Delta, and Southwest. So that's stuff that you kind of sift through while you're waiting for all the people that sit their fannies down and what have you.
Can you imagine the germs on those magazines?
I bet you that's one of the reasons.
I hate to sound like my mother, but
that's probably one of the reasons that they're stopping publication of those. And of course, the other reason is because of money. Money.
Yeah. I mean, who can afford a $50,000, $30,000 Rolex? That's what they're showing it.
Yeah, but it's sort of like it helps you kill some time if you don't want to pony up like ridiculous amounts of money for a magazine.
So dirty. People don't wash their hands after they pee.
They've been doing that since...
They go and look at the magazines, and then
gross.
You pick up the magazine.
It's gross.
Ugh.
I am not getting on an airplane ever again without wearing a mask for the entire trip. Yeah, the last time, before the pandemic, the last time we traveled anywhere, I did bring the travel wipes, to wipe down everything.
You have to.
Yeah.
The travel trays are dirtier than toilet seats.
They are.
Remember we did that story? I think we were on a WPRO. We did this story. I'll never forget that travel trays are filthier than places we put our butts.
Think
That's
about
nasty.
that for a second, yeah.
That ain't right.
Walmart's going to be closed on Thanksgiving Day. Now, not that means a lot to us, because here in Rhode Island we still have blue laws, so we don't open up on Thanksgiving Day. But finally, they said, "Look, we're going to let people."
I think that's a great idea.
I think it's fabulous.
I think it's great.
It makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense on a lot of different for a lot of different reasons. Did you see that Jeffrey Toobin has returned to his job at CNN? He came back as a legal analyst. Now, this is what, about 7-8 months after he whipped out little Jeffrey on a Zoom call.
Yeah,
he was pleasuring himself. In other words,
he sure was
on live television.
He had a hard day that day.
Yes, he certainly
that was
did,
rough.
in more ways than one. But he got his gig. He got his gig back. Think about that.
Listen, I'm just saying. So here I am. When I heard this story, can I tell you? I'm not going to lie. I was so pissed off. I'm driving down the road and I'm thinking, all right. People have their struggles in life. They go through their own personal stuff. They turn their life around. They hope for things in their life. Okay, nothing's happening because you're just waiting and see what God's going to do in your life. And people like Jeffrey Toobin, who on a Zoom call whips out his private with people, with other professionals he's supposed to be talking with. He thinks the cameras are, that's okay. And he somehow gets his job back and can be legitimized on CNN.
He whips out little Jeffrey.
That, to me, is the most insane thing. But people say, oh, I don't know if I can give other people a second chance because, really, they've had a tough life. But Jeffrey Toobin, and there were women. What happened to #MeToo? Where are all the ladies that were in that Zoom
That's
call?
a very good question.
Honestly, I'm so angry about that. I think that's insane.
We have an appetite for the maudlin.
He moves on. You don't have anything to say?
It's ridiculous. He whipped out. His last name can become a verb now.
But, okay.
He was Toobin.
Okay, but let's do something. Let's go back, as you like to say. It just 1 second. Okay. Let's go in the Wayback Machine. So you're a GM or the head of whatever. So
of a company.
Okay. And it's people say to you, but Ron, you know what? Bringing him back is so insane. It's going to draw interest, and people are going to watch, and we'll start to get people interested. Put him on a talk show. Let him come back and explain what he did.
Well,
why don't you get some viewers? Maybe he'll have more followers after this because they're like, yo, Jeffrey, I get it. I understand you. I did it too. What do you say to that?
I would say no.
You put Buddy on the air.
Well, that's different.
Why? He's a convicted felon.
Well, let me finish my thought.
Okay.
All situations are different. Jeffrey Toobin, to me, is not like a lightning rod of attention. I think Buddy Cianci was a lightning rod of attention when it comes to the state of Rhode Island and the city of Providence. So every situation has a different story. You can't paint with a broad brush, but Jeffrey Toobin's. I don't think Jeffrey Toobin's a big deal. We have a sense for the maudlin.
Yeah, we do.
And people collect really, really weird things.
They do.
Do you know somebody paid a lot of money to buy Ty Cobb's false teeth?
Wow.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Somebody ponied up $382,000 recently for a piece of James Dean's Porsche that was part of his fatal crash. $382,000 to look at like a piece of a bumper because James Dean checked out in that car.
Well, obviously you got a lot of money and you got a lot of time on your hands.
Yikes. I want to ask you this point blank.
Yeah.
Have you ever used your cell phone while you're on the toilet?
Of course.
What do you mean, of course? I mean,
I
think the answer is I don't.
Who does? Why? Well, why?
I don't, because it can wait.
Well, yeah, but it passes time.
As you pass, it passes.
And then, listen, and let me say, I got my Clorox wipes. I'm not one of these nasty people. I wash my hands and I got my Clorox because you're thinking germs and all kinds of... Yeah, but I bring my cell phone with me everywhere.
73% of Americans admit that they use their phones either on the toilet or at a urinal. I actually dropped my phone once, my cell phone. How do you do that?
Wait, is it like this if you're a dude?
Well, I wasn't using it. I was at the convention center for some radio event, and I went to the men's room, and I put my cell phone up on the top of the urinal. Mm-hmm. I should have put it in my pocket, obviously, and it fell into the toilet. And
did you get it in rice?
No, I had to go get a new cell phone.
That's unfortunate.
Anyway, I wasn't actually using it, but where I put it was dumb. The number, by the way, goes up to 93% if you ask individuals between 18 and 29.
Oh, yeah.
Whether or not they use their phones
Yeah.
while they're taking care of their business.
Yeah.
Number two or number one.
It's disgusting. I
Or
know
both.
it's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
But listen, sometimes the only quiet and downtime that you can get is when you're in the can. Because once you step into that can, it's a safe zone. Nobody can get in there except you. But once you leave that, it's chaos. If you got a big family,
I guess so.
Do you know how many high-end CEOs probably have made gazillion? Jeff Bezos probably has made some crazy even
deals
A-Rod.
on the throne.
How about A-Rod? Remember that picture with A-Rod on the can?
Oh yeah,
he was on his cell phone
through the window, right?
Do you remember? Yes, he was on. He had his pants down. You probably see that. Maybe we'll dredge that up and put that on our Facebook page.
Boy, does he suck!
Right, he's got his pants down at his ankles. Yes. He didn't draw the shades. He's sitting on the can and he's on his cell phone.
Separate note on him, man, does he suck as a color analyst? Well, he's on ESPN's baseball this week on Sunday nights. He is horrible.
What makes him horrible?
He states the obvious over and over and over again. There's very little insight. If you're going to have a color analyst, the person should be doing some strong insight on what's going on in the game. Anyway. That's all I got to say about.
I have something else for trending
about him. What do you got?
But I didn't know if you were done yet.
I am done. I'm more than done.
And then, did you want to do unusual history today? I have something.
We are going to do that.
Okay, yes. I didn't know if you want to save that for the next episode.
No,
we're
going to do one more trending piece. Then you can do your unusual history.
Yeah. Did you know, Ron? Check this out. That if you had a birthday during the pandemic, well, you should have actually.
This is so stupid.
When it comes to birthdays, 36% of people believe that their 2020 birthday didn't count because they couldn't celebrate it.
That's stupid.
What? So what does that mean? So if you turned 25, then this year, in 2021, you're actually not turning 26, you're turning 25?
Right, if you subscribe to this
I don't
theory.
even know what that means.
Well, if you subscribe to this theory, it just gives Hallmark another opportunity to make some money.
So 25% of people plan to redo their birthday celebration once it's safe to do so. I'm just saying. Okay, that's all I got for trending.
All right. Now, unusual history of his stuff. A while back in one of our previous podcasts, we did, I sound like the first minute of any series that you watch on TV. Last week on The Walking Dead. But one of our prior podcasts, we did a World's Fair story about how the origin of the zipper, how that got started. It had a different name than the zipper. But there's something.
Did?
But yeah, we did a while back.
Oh, I don't remember.
Obviously, it was very forgettable.
No,
at least to you. At least to you, it was.
Isn't that? No, it's because of menopause and a lot of booze.
But there's something very consistent.
I'll get you.
Very consistent when it comes to zippers, right?
Yeah, check this out.
I didn't know this until you pointed it out.
If you guys have pants on right now, if you're Jeffrey Toobin, you don't need this story.
No, Toobin, you're out.
Yeah, you're out, brother. But if you look down at your zipper, there's a big chance that it bears the initials YKK.
Not Y2K.
No, not Y2K. Okay. Now take a moment.
Okay.
Okay, you look.
Yep.
Now why? Okay, so the letters, now I'm going to destroy this guy's name, but just, the letters stand for Yoshida Kagyo Kashibushi Gaisha. It's a name that translates
God bless you.
Yes, Yoshida Manufacturing Shareholding Company. Now, a shrewd businessman named Tado Yoshida founded the zipper in Tokyo in 1934, and he decided to focus on just one simple product, an essential tool used to fasten clothes, accessories, and other products all over the world. Now, the company has since expanded into all types of fasteners and snaps, plus some architectural materials, but it remains a cornerstone of the zipper industry, operating in 71 countries internationally. Now, all right, check this out. By one estimate, that YKK brand makes half the zippers on Earth and more than $7 billion a year. The company has a reputation for making strong, dependable zippers in a bazillion colors and sizes. Moreover, the company cornered the overseas market for clothing early, making them a titan of the fastener industry.
Wow.
Yeah.
What percentage of zippers do they make? Over half?
Yes. Over half the zippers on Earth.
Can you imagine if they got hacked? Everybody's a little Toobin would be hanging out.
Yeah. So YKK stands for the company, Yoshida Manufacturing Shareholding Company, named after YKK, the guy that made that zipper in 1934.
So the next time you gaze at your zipper,
yes,
whether you're wearing it or you're doing your wash, you're doing your laundry, there you go. You learn something. This is an icebreaker right there, cocktail icebreaker from your Auntie Jen.
Yeah, I try to help.
All right.
I
Very,
try to
very
be
nice.
interesting.
Very nice.
I hope I'm interesting. Am I interesting?
You are interesting.
Lie to me, brother. Lie to me.
You're interesting enough. How's that? Interesting enough.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sports news.
Enough.
Sports news. Just one quick note.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Bruins eliminated from the.
They were banged up.
Yeah, they were
Their
really
goalie
banged up.
was
I
beat
guess
up, man.
Rask had a torn labrum in his hip.
Yeah.
And he played goal? That's insane.
He looked it, though. He just knew
bad.
he wasn't right.
But they're going to try yet again, another spring football league. The return of the USFL, believe it or not.
Okay.
Why? It doesn't work. XFL doesn't work.
Well,
USFL didn't work.
Josh Gordon needs a place to go.
Yeah, that's true. It's minor league football.
Yeah.
It looks like it, and there's no interest for it. So skip it. So that's all we got for sports news today. So let's move into food news.
Yeah?
Because we do have an Eat This today.
Oh, I have not missed this segment.
Eat This. Now, we'll line that up in just a second. Wheaties, by the way.
Yeah.
As you roam the aisles of your favorite grocery store. By the way, real quickly, I had my first Market Basket experience.
Oh, did you? The
Yes,
new one?
yes, the
On
new
Route
one.
2.
I want to live there.
You
I
do?
want to live at Job Lot, and I want to live at Whole Foods.
You used to want to live at Benny's.
I just like the aroma of Benny's.
Wait,
when
now you want to
in
live
there.
at Whole Foods, Job Lot, and Market Basket? Because you just said Whole Foods.
Did I say Whole Foods?
Yeah, you did, brother.
I always confuse those two.
That's number 2 today.
All right,
These
it is.
senior moments.
It is.
man.
Maybe that's the case. But Market Basket, the experience in Warwick, that's on Route 2.
Yeah.
They have incredible depth of products. It's just amazing. The prices are pretty good on certain things. Other things, other markets have better prices.
Okay.
But the experience was good.
Well, what makes it so...
It's huge. It's
So?
huge.
It's huge.
I think
Okay.
what makes it so, if
Yeah.
you will,
Yeah.
I think it's their produce.
Yeah.
Their fruits and their vegetables are phenomenal. Plus, they have a lot of unique things. So I give it a blessing. That was a good experience.
Okay.
Wheaties is celebrating 100 years of iconic sports figures.
Who's on the box?
On the front of their box.
Yeah.
So what they're going to do is they're going to rotate all of the iconic sports figures that they've had on the cover over the years. And that starts this month.
Do you have give me a list. Do you have any?
Well,
in there?
guess who's number one? Guess who's the not. I'll tell you who was on the very first Wheaties box in just a second.
Oh, I think I know.
Okay, I'm going
Yeah,
to cover this.
but who are they going to show?
The first one.
Well, is it going to be him or her?
It's him, and it's to celebrate the iconic individuals who've been on the box. The first one will be Muhammad Ali.
Oh,
but he was
wow.
not on the first box.
I thought
of
you were
Wheaties.
going to say Bruce Jenner.
Bruce Jenner. That's a good one.
So
Which
is
one?
he going to be? Is it going to be Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner? Because if you put Bruce Jenner on the box,
Yep.
you know people are going to go
Yeah.
nuts.
So that's going to be a split screen, I think, in the box.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, if they do go that way. Thank
Yeah.
you. Every now and then
That's
a squirrel
Yeah,
finds
you're
a nut,
interesting
you know?
enough.
Who was the first athlete in the 30s on a Wheaties box? Any guess?
Jesse Owens,
That's a great guess. Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig was numero uno. Chipotle. Do you like Chipotle? I've never been to a Chipotle.
You know what?
I
I'm
love
gonna-
Mexican
here,
food,
listen.
but I've never been to Chipotle.
You want me to tell you the truth?
No, I want you to lie to me.
The food was just okay last time I had it. It was
Okay.
way overpriced.
Well, guess what?
Way overpriced.
Price is going to go up.
Yeah, I won't
because
go back.
Chipotle is
I'm
raising
sorry.
its menu
Very
items to
disappointing.
cover a wage hike that's going on there.
Yeah,
And before we want to do our Eat This in just a second here,
Mm-hmm.
apparently you can get a free Wendy's Frosty every week in June. Why don't you do that one while I get our Eat This out?
Yes. Well, I saw this story and I was so thrilled. I sent this to you. And now that this 28-day challenge that I've been on for kickboxing is going to be over, weigh-in is on Monday. I'm so excited. I can now get a free Wendy's Frosty every Friday in June to celebrate summer. Now, all you have to do is place an order at any drive-through location or through, of course, the Wendy's app and show their free Frosty Friday mobile offer. That's it. The offer is good for any flavor Frosty or a Frosty breakfast drink, which combines ice cream and cold brew coffee. So listen, get the Wendy's app, roll up on Fridays, and you get a free I think that's good because
Those are
nothing's
good.
free anymore, you know?
Those are good, by the way.
Nothing's free.
The
What do you
Frosties.
have, Ron?
The Frosties are good. This is our Eat This segment. It doesn't rear its ugly head or its beautiful
not
head.
too often.
In every podcast that we do, but the origin is my wife, Patty, who works as a professional grocery shopper. We're not going to tell you where. She chooses not to disclose that. But
Yeah.
this week we're going to try something called mush.
All right.
All right. Now, it looks like yogurt, right?
Okay.
It's described as oats soaked in dairy-free milk.
Ooh.
blended with fruit. Now, I have strawberry, I have blueberry with 6 simple ingredients, it says. So which would you like? Would you like blueberry or would you like strawberries? We try it live during the podcast.
I'll try strawberry.
Strawberry you got.
Okay.
I got your spoon. All right, it's been sanitized at Chez St. Pierre.
This stuff looks expensive. This is that kind
blueberry.
of foo stuff.
Yeah.
That, kind of person eats.
Smells good.
That and then tells you that they're eating it
Smells
while
good.
they have their 2.5 kids at daycare.
Smells good.
Somewhere super
Yeah,
expensive.
exactly. Right now, while they have the dog groomed.
Yes.
And walked.
Muffy,
right?
Can you come meet me? I'm eating my mush.
That's right.
Grab a couple Starbucks. We'll talk about our husbands.
That's right. All right. Starbucks Grande, by the way. And we'll talk about the husband and how much he makes.
All right. Yeah, right.
All right. Who's first, you or me?
Do you know last week he had a colonoscopy?
Yeah, all right.
And he cried when he came home.
That's right. And somewhere a clown cried. All right. You going first or me?
Why don't we go together?
And 1, 2, 3, go.
You suck, Ron. Hey, that's actually really good.
That's pretty good.
I can't lie.
All right.
Can I take this home?
It's all yours.
I'm serious. This is really good. I mean, I have to add a couple equal.
You know what? This is good. This is my breakfast.
I would.
You would sweeten that up?
Yeah, I would definitely sweeten this up.
No, that's good. I like that.
I would let you buy me some.
All right. Good choice,
Wherever
Patty.
you got. Yeah, no, Patty.
Good choice, Patty.
Good job, Patty.
Way to go. Mm-hmm. All right.
That's really good.
Now, before we salute fathers.
That was mean what you did, by the way.
Well, that's it.
See, I trusted you.
It's a matter of trust.
That's messed up.
That's like, as they said in Animal
Now the
House.
world, see, that's how the world chips away at your heart. You know, you ripped it out right there.
As they told Flounder in Animal House, you trusted us. You blanked up, right?
Yeah,
right.
I guess.
Okay.
Right.
Now, while I put on the musical instrument to salute fathers, because this will air shortly before Father's Day, and we do a salute of father.
Yes.
In just a second, we're going to do a combination food and brouillon of the week story, right?
Yes, absolutely. All right, get this, guys. A Virginia man may have gone into freak mode because he couldn't get McDonald's Happy Meal. Oh, the irony. Right?
Oh, that's great.
The Stafford County, Virginia Sheriff's Office says a guy named James Springer showed up to a McDonald's while working for DoorDash, and he was told it was too early to order a Happy Meal. Now, that's when things got super ugly. Witnesses say Springer got very angry and told an employee that he would come back and execute everyone, and then threatened random strangers using a handgun. Luckily, responding deputies managed to cuff him without incident. He had been charged with disorderly conduct, abusive language, and 4 counts of brandishing over a Happy Meal, and sources say he may have been smoking crack.
He was on the weed? No, he was on crack.
He was on Whitney Houston's crack is whack.
You know what,
we don't smoke crack.
You know what Mr. Hand would have asked?
Yeah.
What are you people?
On dope.
On dope? All right.
That's great.
Now, if you're lucky enough to still have your dad around,
yes, God rest
Albert. Make sure you hug Dad, tell him you love him. Guys, don't feel like that's an uncomfortable thing to do. It's the right thing to do. And we are saluting fathers.
Yes, we are.
And I'm singing for the first time.
I'm just not even gonna.
You ready?
I am.
Today, Father is Father's Day. We're giving you a tie. It's not much, I know, but it's just our way of showing you we think you're a regular guy.
The regular guy.
You say it was nice of us to bother, but it really was a pleasure to fuss, because according to our mother, you're our father, and that's good enough for us. Yes, that's good enough for us.
For us. That's the show, folks. Now listen, remember, you wouldn't have a father without your mother. So do something nice for your mother on Father's Day. That's what I do.
That was profound.
That's because I'm interested. Interesting. Enough. Just enough. Hey. Bum, bum. My Stinky Steve.
Hug your dad, tell him you love him.
Yeah, definitely. See you next time.
You'll find a smile will go a long, long way.